Fangio confirmed it. Cooper DeJean just isn't a slot corner. He is a weapon of mass destruction. Dallas still stinks. You're by the way, kick Dingbat here, and what a time for the Eagles, man. What a time. Talk about being Super Bowl champions, basking in the superiority of the Eagles while they're back at OTAs today, this week. It is absolutely awesome. And Vic Fangio spoke, and he said some really, really important things. We got Saquon Barkley taking over Madden with the cover of Madden 26. It just doesn't end with this team. They're awesome. All right. And speaking of the first thing I want to talk about is Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff. Now, we talked about the Bryce Huff trade last week, but it has become public what the Eagles got for him. The pound 49ers trade compensation for Bryce Huff is a conditional 5th round pick that can become a 4th round pick in the 2026 NFL draft. Wow. Just wow. That's Howie Roseman. That's Howie Genius. Howie Robbery. I know you get the comment, why are you guys so happy that he traded a guy? The guy didn't work out. No other GM in the league could do what he just did. No other GM, first of all, is humble enough to accept when you've made a mistake that quickly and then be able to get a trade for it. Like they say, a problem doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct that problem. And the Eagles have corrected it. And now you look at the draft, the Eagles they're loaded. They're loaded with picks in the 2026 draft. I mean, they can't possibly spend all that on picks. They're going to have to trade some of them away. Not necessarily for players. I guess you could trade, 3rd round pick for a 2nd round pick in 2027. Things like that. But, man, talk about crazy. I don't ever remember the Eagles being that stocked. And if you look at the way they've drafted the last 3 or 4 years, well, if they continue to draft like that with the amount of picks they have, we're going to have about 10 championships in the next 15 years. It's going to be beautiful. Beautiful, I tell you. And I love it. I love this team. But that's great compensation for Bryce Huff. And let me just say, sorry you haven't seen me the last few days. I had family events and things going on. So I just took a couple days. But we're back ready for June. We're gonna destroy this month and then get ready for training camp. I'll be taking some time off later in June as well, but nobody cares about that. Also, as you all know, Madden 26, Saquon Barkley on the cover of it. And here's what I'll say about that. My feelings are mixed. One, I hate the whole Madden curse and injury and all those kind of things. Those things always worry me. I get a little superstitious when in reality I shouldn't, but I do. And I think the curse, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's kind of been broken, right? I think, didn't Brady break it or somebody? So I don't even think it's going on anymore. On the other hand, I love that Saquon Barkley's getting the recognition he deserves. He is the best player in football last year. There's no question about it. And I think he is going to run for 2,000 yards again. That's my big hot take bet that I'm putting in, man. I just got a weird feeling he's in this weird window and we're about to see something special. But, I mean, it's really cool to see Barkley, get on the cover of Madden. I really like that they used the picture of him doing the leap, primarily because, well, one, it's a play that nobody has seen. That's like Randall Cunningham-esque versus the Buffalo Bills back in the day when people never saw anything like it. And also it's in Kelly Green. It took 2 years for Kelly Green to be back on the cover of Madden. That's how we roll, baby. Kelly Green forever. All right? But no, congratulations to Saquon. He deserves it, and I think he's going to have a great year. with the Eagles. So it's going to be great. Now, as you guys know, the Eagles have OTAs today. This is, I think, the only public OTAs they have all week. But Vic Fangio, he met with the press. He was talking at a press conference. And I got to tell you, I love when Fangio speaks, because I feel like when Fangio speaks, he actually answers questions. He actually gives you something. You know what I'm saying? But Fangio talked today at his press conference. And I got to tell you, most of it I thought was really, really good news and really interesting. That thing I didn't like was the fact that Nakobe Dean, it looks like he's still, a ways away from playing. It's going to be a while. But he did talk about Jihad Campbell. Jeff McClain said this: Pound Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio on rookie linebacker Jihad Campbell. We're starting him at inside linebacker, and he won't practice till August. So there are a lot of people saying, oh, he ain't going to play. He ain't going to be ready for the start of the season. He'll be ready for camp. Once camp starts, he'll be ready to go. He's going to start out at inside linebacker, and I think that's a good spot for him. Will he be able to start? That's the question. We're going to see. I think we're going to get to see a lot about what he's made of, what Jeremiah Trotter is. It's going to be interesting. He also talked about Jordan Davis. Now, I've been saying this. You can see it, Jordan Davis, at the basketball event they had a few weeks ago. You saw it at rookie training camp. Jordan Davis looks like he's in tremendous shape. Okay? Fangio said, and John McMullen wrote this, another great Fangio moment came when discussing Jordan Davis's conditioning. The DC defensive coordinator said Davis was in the best shape of his life late last season. When asked why it took so long, Fangio said, I'm ducking the question. He also said that right now he's in the best shape of his career since becoming an Eagle. He's at best conditioned since becoming an Eagle. So we saw late last year, Jordan Davis got better conditioning, I guess, as the season went on. What did he do in the NFC Championship game? Get a sack. What did he do in the Super Bowl? Get a sack. Then Jordan Davis has taken that. He's got even better conditioned right now, and he's headed into this season. Yes, Jordan Davis is going to have a monster year. Yes, Jordan Davis is going to have a breakout year. You watch. I love it. I love what we're going to get from Jordan Davis. I think a lot of people are going to have to admit that Jordan Davis is a lot better than they thought he was. I love it. To me, the most interesting thing, though, about his press conference is what he said about Cooper DeJean. One of the things that I really was excited to hear Fangio talk about, and I thought it was awesome, was when he talked about Cooper DeJean. Because one of the things I've been saying on this channel since the Eagles have drafted him is that Cooper DeJean is just not a outside corner. He's just not a slot corner. If you really want to maximize his potential and his skill set, he's a guy that you've got to use differently. You've got to use him all around in different situations. And it sounds like this is where it's heading. It's gonna take years to evolve, of course. But he's learning little by little how to play other positions and do other things. He's taking on more and more. Last year, slot corner. This year, he's going to play some outside. He's actually even going to play some safety and base. Vic Fangio says that they want Cooper DeJean on the field in base package at either outside corner or safety. Says he can play both. Fangio makes it clear mostly want to keep him at nickel. So they mostly want to keep him in the slot, no doubt about it. However, he's too talented to take off the field in base situations. So the Eagles are going to use him at the outside and at safety. I think that's exactly how you use him, and that's exactly the right way to go. Fangio did talk about the safety position, and he did say that the safety position is up for grabs. It's Makuba and Sidney Brown. Most likely, those are the guys. He also did bring in or mention Tristan McCollum. Usually, Fangio kind of gives you a hint of the guys he kind of likes, and he mentions their name. We saw that really early last year with Zach Baun. We're all like, why do they keep mentioning Zach Baun? But that's kind of what Vic Fangio does. Anyways, the Eagles, they're going to have the open competition at safety. And in base situations, you may see Cooper DeJean there, which to me, when you ask me, what is Cooper DeJean? Is he a cornerback? Is he a safety? Is he a defensive back? He's a weapon of mass destruction. He's a weapon of mass destruction. He is a guy that eventually, as he evolves, as he's played more, as he's learned the NFL more, he is going to be a guy that you need somebody to go up against a specific player. You put him at tight end, you put him in the slot. You need him to go play on the outside of the game, he can do it. You need him at safety for a game, he can do it. Cooper DeJean is a guy that you can move all around. And I'm not just saying, okay, this game he's on the outside, this game he's on the inside. No, within games, within drives, within plays, you move them all around. They're going to have to account at some point where Cooper DeJean is at all times. And I absolutely love it. Love it. All right, so as far as week 2 of OTAs, they began, remember, they're voluntary. We've got, I think, a mandatory one-day minicamp coming, I think, next week. But Eagles not at practice today. You had no Devontae Smith, no Nakobe Dean, who actually was there actually on the sideline. No Johnny Wilson, E.J. Jenkins, Elijah Cooks. On the side of the field, you had Cam Jurgens and Avery Williams, and then watching with his helmet on was Jahad Campbell. So those guys weren't there. I expect everybody to be there for minicamp, no doubt about it. So it is what it is. As far as the practice itself, it was about 82 minutes long. Play of the day was a deep ball down the sideline. Hurts to Dallas Goedert over the shoulder. And yeah, that's basically what you had. You know, these OTAs, you know, everybody looks good. Everybody looks fast. You want to try to figure out what's going to happen here, what's going on, who's starting here, who's starting. You just don't know. You know, it gets a lot. It starts to make a lot more sense when you get into training camp, especially when you get like first day of pads and stuff like that. But we got some interesting things, right? You had 7-on-7s. You had Cooper DeJean lining up on the outside with Quinyon Mitchell. They want him on the field on base defense. They don't want Cooper DeJean coming off the field. That much is obvious. Then you had Sidney Brown. He started at safety over Makuba, who got a lot of reps and got a lot of chance to play. But you wonder if Sidney Brown, because he's a veteran, is ahead right now. We've seen in the past with Fangio, starting at OTAs, the rookies start at the bottom and have to work their way up. It's just the way it is. So we'll see how it goes. But we, no doubt about it, have a battle at safety. You got 2 OTA practices, I think, the rest of the week. Then you got a mandatory minicamp. I think it's for like a day. And then I think the Eagles break for summer. And we won't see them again until training camp. That's when it gets really slow. And that's when Cowboys usually get arrested. So look for all those things. But that was camp today. Very interesting with Vic Fangio. A lot going on. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision, baby. We're all just living in it. I don't know what to do my post-credit scene on. There's 2 things I want to talk about. One, Madden. I want to bitch about the game and stuff like that, but damn, I do it all the time. But it's so true. It amazes me how many people like think they're getting a good game every year. Man, we're getting ripped off. We're getting ripped off by EA Sports. They ain't trying to put out anything worth shit. Man, we should be going, holy crap, man. These football games are insane now. We're basically just got better graphics, re-updated rosters, you know, and that's about it. And it's just a reboot every year. I want to see a ground-up, built-up football game that is going to change the way sports are played. I think it could be done. I think we're in the time frame to do it. I don't know what the hell EA Sports is waiting for. Maybe competition, I guess. Anyways, I guess that's what I'm going to talk about. Denzel Washington, out.
Oh, God. No. I want to be like the Eagles.
That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us!